Alright, so here we go with round 2 of Deep Madness. We're going to start with our Devour phase, and we're going to have another room become corrupted. We take one of the face-down ones, and we get room 4. Which is not great, because, geez, that's the room that every single one of my guys is in. So let's pause for a second while I move all this stuff and flip it over. Okay, we've corrupted the room. Remember, I get to choose where the spawning point is, so in this case, I put it in this little enclosed room. You can lock hatches either on the spaces separating tiles or on any of these specific yellow things. So what I'm thinking is I might be able to run out of here and then lock the door behind me and try to at least slow down whatever horrendous monster comes calling for me. Now I do 3 spawn cards again, and the first one is going to be right in 4 that I just flipped, so God help us. In this case, it's 2 agony in 4, and then another agony in some other room. It was actually pretty lucky for me because the agonies act very late in the turn, so I am going to have a chance to run away and lock that door, hopefully, or, maybe I'll just have Jared kill them. So 2 agonies there. We move 4 to the bottom. Next agony comes in 15. So we got one of them over here. That's it for our first spawn card. Now we've got a Putrid, another one of our big monsters. And we move 15 to the bottom. He's spawning in room 1, right there in the center. Here's our friendly friend, right there. Last one is 2 Delirium. And they're spawning in room 28. Oh man, right back to our general area. This is not looking good for us. Instead of getting a lot of spawns over there, I got very few spawns, and I'm getting mobbed right at the beginning of the mission. So, I guess I'm going to have to try to get out of the water and then just spend a little bit of time defeating these guys, although we've got a few decent weapons. We'll see how that works out for us. So that's it for the Devour phase and the Spawn phase. We're going to get into our activation phase. So this turn we're going to have the Delirium activate first, because we have a blank Investigator card here. And then Jared will get a chance to run away from the guys that spawned right on him. We're going to have a Putrid, who's kind of far out of the action. Randy, and then the Twisted, who's chasing after us. The Doctor. We don't have any Hysteria yet. And then we got a bunch of Agony and that huge group of Ravenous. We'll see how we handle them, and Samuel will act in between them. So let's do our Delirium. They move 1, and then try to pull you into their space if you're only 1 away, and then they attack at range 1. Lucky for us, nobody's in range 1 of them. They're just going to move 1 space, but they are waiting to attack us. Now, it is worth noting again that their line of sight would not extend into water since they're in a dry space, so they couldn't actually shoot against somebody like right here, for example. They have no line of sight through the water. Okay, we're going to get to Jared now, and he's in a bit of a pickle. Let's see what he chooses to do. We're going to once again assign these random action bonuses. So we've got 2. We got 2 for Jared. That's probably good since he's in a bad way. 1 for Samuel and 1 for the Doctor. We are looking pretty decent here. Jared's got 5 actions. He's got 3 of his max 4 sanity. And he's got this nice assault rifle he picked up. So let's see what he might want to do with his 4 oxygen as well. Okay, so I could try to defeat these guys. And if I don't, they might attack Samuel after I leave. Oh, and actually, I just realized I can't leave yet because Agony have 3 trap each. So that's 6 trap right there, and Jared only has 5 escape. So until I defeat at least one of them, I literally cannot leave. So let's go ahead and try to blow one of these guys away. They have 1 resistance and only 1 life. So if I can do 2 damage, I defeat them. But if I do only 1 hit, then I'll do nothing because it'll just plink against their armor. So I'm going to spend 1 oxygen. Here's my assault rifle. So 3 range, clearly that won't matter. 4 dice, hitting on a 4 or more for 1 damage. And I can reroll all the attack dice once if I don't like them. And important to note that, again, ranged weapons only target 1 monster at a time, so I will not be able, if I roll amazingly, I won't be able to kill both of these guys. I'll have to just settle for 1 of them. I had mentioned before that if you kill a monster, your sanity is going to turn into madness. If, on the other hand, you have no sanity when you kill a monster, instead you get to draw one of these consciousness cards, which give you pretty cool effects, sometimes even extra actions or free searches and things. So I have a choice here. I could rest first, which won't hurt me oxygen-wise, but will use up one of my 5 actions to get rid of all these. And then if I manage to defeat one of these guys on my first try, I'll get a consciousness card. So I'm going to try that and see if I get lucky. So I'll spend 1 action to rest out of my 5. And then we're going to use our assault rifle, rolling 4 dice. And the assault rifle hits on 4 or more. And actually, I should say, Sam's ability is to roll an extra die. Sorry, not Sam, Jared. So I'm actually rolling 5 dice. I only need to get 2 successes, so hoping I get lucky here. And I got 1, 2, 3 successes, 1 more than I even needed. So I will defeat one of these guys. And if I had had sanity, I would have flipped over as many sanity to madness as their horror rating. So 1 sanity would have become a madness token instead. But instead, because I defeated them, I get to draw one of these consciousness cards, because I didn't have any sanity when I defeated him. Okay, so these are kind of like, if you've played Bioshock or similar games, or System Shock, these are kind of like the journals you might find lining around, or the audio recordings. So I'll read one of these, but they do have really long text, so we'll skip the rest of them, and then at the bottom you get a little bonus. So, Golden Dawn number 3. Eternity can be ours if we can but grasp it. Imagine a world free of sickness, pettiness, and death. Imagine an existence where we walk and breathe and live in the heady realm of consciousness, free from the shackles of the material frame. I do not speak of the fabled shores of some far-off imaginary heaven either, attainable only after it ceases to be of use. No, I speak of eternal life on this earth. Transcendence is ours now. Discourse on the everlasting, teachings of the Golden Dawn. The Golden Dawn are like this cult that are behind a lot of the stuff going on. So this is kind of fun. You get like some backstory into what happened before you got here, why this place is all gone to heck. So, but this special ability says, keep this card, discard this card at any time to roll an additional die. And again, that's any time. So it could be like when I'm investigating to try to get an extra success. It could be when I'm making an attack. So, nice little ability. And since it's any time, I can also use it after an attack's been rolled. So that was my second action out of 5, because first I rested. So I could now leave. This guy does not have enough trap to stop me from leaving. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick this clue up for my third action, because I have the 3 successes I need to do so. So now Jared's got a clue, and he can't give it to anybody else, and he can't carry another one. So that was my third action. Fourth action, I'm going to run away. By the way, that's 2 more oxygen. Lord help us. And finally, I've got 1 action left, so I could start running out of here. Although, you know, Sam can carry me, so I might lock the door on this guy and hope that he doesn't come follow us. Although, yeah, that seems a little silly because, I mean, I could have just shot him if that's all I was going to do. So you know what? I will shoot him. I'm going to roll 5 dice and try to have the same luck I had before. 1, 2, 3 hits. Woo! I'm liking this assault rifle, especially with Jared's ability to roll an extra thing. So I get another one of these cards. It's another one about the Golden Dawn. And it's another one that gives me an additional die. So I've got +2 dice when I want them, maybe for some big attack. So that is it. And that takes Jared down to 0 oxygen. So the next time he does anything in here, he's going to be in for some pain. Okay, we're going to activate a Putrid, who will move and then attack at range 1. And then we're going to activate Randy Carter. The Putrid isn't really in the action yet. It might be kind of hard to see, but there is a wall around this room, so he has to move out to here or to here, and this is closer to us, so he's going to go out there to start working his way over to us, but happily not attacking yet. And now we get to Randy. Randy is over here in the water with very little oxygen. And she has 5 actions this turn. And she has no weapon with which to fight off any of these guys who are going to activate at the end of the turn. So not great there, but we can see what we can do with her. So if I run down to these delirium, now they've already activated. So that means they won't actually be able to hurt me anymore. So if I end in this space, it's okay for this turn. I'm just going to have to hope that I can defeat them next turn. And if you remember, this is where we wanted to end up so that these 3 guys would not be an issue. So I'm going to move Randy 1, 2. That'll take her to 0, and then it'll take her to -1. So you'll see there's a little 1 die icon there. I roll 1 die. And like most things of defense, if I roll a success, I don't take damage, but I did not. So I do take 1 damage out of Randy's 7. She's pretty easy to kill there. So now she's here. She's used 2 of her 5 actions. She gets a free investigator search every turn, so I'm really hoping that she gets a weapon. That would be lovely. Utility knife. Okay, ooh. Monsters' resistance is reduced by 1, so they have 1 less armor. So okay, we're gonna try to defeat them here with her little knife she just found. So remember, she moved twice. She got a free search for the knife, so she's gonna have 3 actions left to try to defeat these guys. And each of the delirium has 3 life and 1 resistance, but luckily her knife is going to cancel that, so she has a decent chance of defeating at least one of them. So the knife is rolling 2, hitting on a 4 or more, cancels 1 resistance, does 1 damage. So here she goes. And remember, melee damage can be split, so if she gets really lucky, she might actually be able to defeat all these guys. Okay, so first action. So she needs 4s, remember. So she can use sanity. She's got 3 sanity left. She's going to try to re-roll this. She wants to defeat these guys. Good. She got it. So that is 2 damage on this guy out of his 3. Okay, she's going to go again for her 4th action out of 5. Okay, 1 miss again, so she's got 2 sanity left she can spend. Come on. That didn't even roll. Well, I guess we gotta count it. 1 more time. Ah, okay, so I need to work on my rolling a little bit. So I do 1 damage though, so I do defeat this guy. And unfortunately, because she has sanity, she has her full 5 sanity, I flip one of these to madness instead of getting one of those nice little cards. Now I can attack 1 more time. And unfortunately, though, I would not be able to do a whole bunch with my attack. And this agony is going to try to charge in and kill me. So I could attack and start damaging this guy, or I could lock the door to try to block this this agony out, who's right below us. You can't really see him there. So let's go for the attack and see what happens. Oof. Gosh. All right, well, she's got 1 more sanity she can do. So at least maybe I'll get 1. Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, some bad rolling on my part. So I don't damage the second guy at all, but at least I did defeat 1 of those guys before they activate. All right, I'm just going to quickly go through because the Twisted is activating next. He moves 1. He does have range 1 when he's on a corrupted space, and he's within 1 range, but they're in water and he's not, so thankfully he won't actually get an attack on us. So that's the entire Twisted's turn. And we go into Roman Asimov, who's sitting over here and has 4 actions to attack with this turn. Well, not just attack. And he's at 5. Oh, sorry, one thing I should note. Because Randy ended in an oxygenated room, she goes all the way back up to 6. But she has to end her turn there. So if she had like moved through and then ended on water, she would not get that back. So Roman's got 5 oxygen. He's got his little weak injection gun. But he can probably at least finish off the guy that Randy's fighting with right now. So he'll go ahead and move once. Move again. He's got 2 actions left. He will attack with his injection gun. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't shoot this guy because he's in water, and his gun only has 1 range anyway. Well, you know what? Let's search first, because he's not going to be able to defeat the guy unless he spends all his actions anyway. So these are little special things that are usually usable once per turn. This one is not, though. So I can either discard it to heal 3 wounds, or I can discard it to heal 3 sanity. So it's just like a little bit of healing available to him. And for his last action, he will go ahead and shoot the injection gun at this guy. He needs a 3 or higher to do 2 damage. Okay, let's use one of his sanity. He's got 3 left to spend. There we go. Okay, our run of bad luck is gone. And by the way, note that Roman's automatic ability is that he always takes away 1 resistance from monsters, so that's why I just straight up did 2 damage instead of having to lose 1 for the monster's armor. And he could additionally put some of these armor canceling tokens down on the board. Let's leave it the way it is and just hope we get lucky. Okay, so the Agony are going to activate before Samuel has a chance to run away, which means this guy is going to run in and attack. He has 2 attack damage. But Samuel gets to roll 2 defense dice, looking for successes. Whew! He gets 2 and blocks the attack completely. But the Agony also has an ability. If he rolls these little like kind of rain falling or stalactite symbols, whatever that is, then I'll either have to take a wound or miss an action. And he did get 1. You'll see that it's both a bite and that symbol. So Samuel's going to take 1 wound. Actions are too precious, so that's his first damage. Okay, then it's going to be his activation before these Ravenous go. And it looks like things are terrible because these guys are going to attack. But what Samuel's going to do is he's going to use his first action to rest. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have said Roman's oxygen is back up to 6. Samuel's going to use his first action to rest, getting rid of all his sanity. It leaves him with his max sanity of 3 available again. Then he's got 3 actions left. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and get Jared out of that danger zone as well. So that uses up all of Samuel's sanity. That is all 3 of Samuel's max sanity. He had 4 actions, so that's the end of his turn. And additionally, he did 1, 2, 3. But then he ended his turn in a non-water space, so he gets his oxygen back up to 6. Now, important to note that Jared did not end his turn in oxygen, so he hasn't yet to take a breath. He's still at 0. That's going to really limit what he can do next turn. Hopefully he'll just be able to shoot a lot of guys. And sorry, I should have noted there were a lot more Agony on the board. So this one that's got one of Roman's tokens weakening him. He ran in here before Samuel and Jared were there. We'll say that he attacks Roman because Roman has more life than Randy does. And Roman blocks 1 of his damage, but takes 1. So that's 2 damage on him now. And then we'll again roll to see if he has to take an extra wound. He does not. And then there's a few more Agony over here. They just all move 1 space. Okay, so we did Samuel's turn. Now the Ravenous activate. They have to move 2. I can choose which way they go. I'm actually going to have them go right here, because if they were here, they'd be in water, and we couldn't shoot them from 1 away, but here they are within line of sight. Line of sight you can only do straight. You can't go around corners, and again, it can't be through water. But here, from here, Jared's going to go first. And he's got a good gun. He wants to breathe, so he can't really go anywhere. I just realized that this guy had -1 defense. So, because this corruption token should have been taking away 1 of our resistance when we rolled. So that means that Roman, when he rolled 2 dice and got a success, let's just roll 1 die now. Okay, so he'll take an extra wound. And that's the only person I think who got attacked there, so we'll call that a day over there. That was the Ravenous activation. So we go back to our refresh phase. Okay, Jared's moving up, which is great, because he's going to get a chance to finish off that last delirium before he gets a chance to attack, and hopefully finish off a lot more than that. And then our Putrid is still pretty far away, shouldn't really be an issue. The Twisted is really far away now, so he should be okay. We don't have any Hysteria yet. The Agony and the Ravenous are more troublesome, but hopefully with all these guys activating, we'll be able to defeat them before they get too close to us. Okay, we're moving on to our first sort of special event. You note that only 2 spawn this turn, so at least that's good for us. But what this one does is it lowers everyone's oxygen by 1, and more importantly, it makes the maximum oxygen for the mission only 5 now. So that means that for the rest of the mission, we can never go above 5. And Jared, who never got a chance to breathe, goes down to a 1. He does have to roll to see if he takes any damage. And he does. He takes 1 damage. And I could be using Sanity to re-roll these, but it doesn't seem like it's really important enough. So I'm going to let that slide. Okay, and then I got to spawn 2 people, but I do not corrupt a new room this turn. And 28 was from last turn, so we're going to spawn in 2, which is right below us. Not ideal. Okay, so I've got the 2 cards here. Going to spawn a Putrid in 2. Move that to the bottom. And we're going to spawn a Twisted in room 12. So that's all the way over here. Yay, I can totally deal with that. And 12 goes to the bottom, which means next turn the first place to spawn will be 8, which is also way far away. So good, we're hopefully kind of getting some of the monsters a little bit more away from us, because man, we're getting mobbed right here. Okay, so we've done our spawn. I'm going right into activation. Jared is first. Let's see how many actions he gets. I'm kind of hoping he gets a 2 instead of a 1, because he has a lot of mean to cut through this turn. So let's see, we'll do the first one is Jared. He only gets 4 actions this turn. Randy gets 5. Samuel gets 4. And the Doctor gets 5. So my best fighters didn't necessarily get as much stuff for them. But hey, we can deal with that. So Jared's got 4 actions. He's got his nasty little assault rifle. He has no sanity on him at all. So, and he's got his little bonuses that he can add extra dice if he needs to. So let's blast some fools. First, he's going to shoot the Delirium. It does have 1 armor, but it also already has 2 damage, so he just needs a 2 hits to kill it. And, sorry, his bonus is +1 die when attacking with guns. So here he comes. And that was the worst. Thank God the assault rifle has the ability to reroll the entire attack once, so let's make use of that. Much better. Got the 2 I need, so the Delirium is gone. And we'll note that if I had sanity, I would flip it, but in this case, once again, Jared has no sanity, so he's getting a consciousness. You may heal 1 wound from yourself. Hey, he did have 1 wound. That's kind of one of the weaker ones of these cards, but at least it did something for him. Okay, that was 1 action. Now he's got this fun guy right on him, so I guess he'll just keep hunting. So here he goes. So that's 2 hits, enough to defeat this guy. And that's another consciousness card. Here we go. You may heal 1 madness. He doesn't have any. So, that was not so useful. I would really love to get some of these extra action cards, but I haven't gotten them yet. All right, blasting away. Let's shoot these 2 of these guys next to us. So, first one. And these only need, well, actually, they have 1 armor when they're in corrupted spaces, so we need 3 hits to defeat them. A little bit tougher there. Whew! Not with a roll like that, though. Boom! 4 successes. You were gone. Another consciousness card. I'm loving this turn so far. You may draw a search card. Much better, much better. Let's see what we get. An electric rod. Nice little melee weapon. Rolls only 1 die, but hits on a 4 or more for 3 damage. Not too bad. And if you hurt a monster with it, you can exhaust a sanity to move the monster and do an extra damage. So, pretty good, pretty good. So Jared's got that for now, and he's already got a pistol and an assault rifle. So we might want to have somebody take a trade action. Okay, in his last action, going to try to blast 1 more guy. See if he can do a perfect turn of destruction. Okay, so he didn't get 3 hits. So the question here is, do I use one of my Golden Dawn cards to add a die? Do I use the assault rifle's ability to reroll completely? Although then I might get fewer than 2 successes. So I don't want to spend any stamina to reroll, because then I'm not going to get one of these cards. So I'm going to use one of these Golden Dawn and roll an extra die. So let's see. It says I can reroll all the dice once. So I would think that would let me reroll all 6. So you know what? Let's do that. And odds are kind of in my favor. Hopefully I'm doing that right in terms of being able to use the assault rifle's power. Boom! 5 hits. Wiped him out. And we do get another card because, again, I've managed to use no sanity this entire turn. Loving that. You may heal 1 wound from yourself. I did not get a single one of the ones that gives me an extra action. And the search one didn't help me that much. But still, it was a great turn. I defeated a whole bunch of guys. Really feeling good about that. Okay, Deliriums activate next, but there are none because I defeated them all. So, yay! So we get right to Randy. Oh, and by the way, Jared, back up to breathing, but only to 5 because that's the best he can do. So Randy's my best searcher. So I'd love to get her down here. Oh, I forgot this guy didn't even have any armor, but it didn't matter much. So I can go down to the Putrid, but the Putrid is right about to activate, which means he would attack her for 2 damage, and additionally, he might make her discard a search card. Randy does have a utility knife, which would cancel the Putrid's defense, but the Putrid has 6 life, so it seems like that's not the best option. Right now, the Putrid is even going to attack us. What I could do instead is run up to the other search token, but again, the Putrid has, is going to move back and attack her there instead then. So I'm kind of facing a Putrid either way. If I moved in, she's got 5 actions. I could just attack that guy with my utility knife 5 times, or rest and do it 4 times, but the most I'll do is 2 damage each time, so I'd have to get perfect hits at least 3 times to finish him off completely. That seems unlikely. Yeah, I wish that someone like Samuel Smith was going first. You know what? Let's do our free search action. See if we get a better weapon. Submachine gun. So 5 dice. It only hits on a 5+ for 1 damage. But still, 5 dice at a 5+ I think is way better than 2 dice at a 4+ with a utility knife. But the utility knife cancels the guy's armor, and this does not. So I feel like kind of a wash in terms of how good a chance I have of actually defeating this Putrid. And maybe even worse, because that 1 armor affecting us every turn. So she still has 5 actions. She could potentially try to defeat the Ravenous, but that guy's not activating until the end. It seems like a little bit of a waste. Let's run down here and start investigating. Okay, so she's still got 5 actions. That search was her free one. So she'll go 1 into the water, 2 right into there. That does do whatever oxygen. So she's got 3 actions left. Oh, and sorry, she'll rest to get rid of all of her sanity so she can be more successful because she had a full 5 sanity on her. It does not use an oxygen, but does take one of her actions. So she's moved twice and rested, so she has 2 actions left. So she'll search once. And she'll start spending sanity to reroll that. First sanity. Yes! She is still on fire with those search tokens. And with her last actions, she will search again. Okay, 1 sanity. 2 sanity. Yes. All right. So, not too bad. She's still got 2 sanity spots left. And in fact, she's going to go ahead and pull one off Sam and the Doctor, because that's her little special ability, and she's about to rest anyway. So she's down to 2 oxygen, but she does have some successes. We only need 1 more to get that one, and then we just need to get the one over there and get out of dodge, and we might still have a chance of winning this thing. So the Putrids do activate next. This one's going to attack her. She gets her full defense, but he's attacking for 2 damage. We block 1 of them, like in that. So she has 2 damage out of 7, but then the guy also rolls, and if he gets a tooth, he's making her discard a card. He does not. Although I wouldn't have minded too much anyway, because she's got a little cruddy card. And then the other Putrid is going to move 1. He would attack at range 1, but clearly there isn't anybody there to attack. Move on to Roman Asimov. And then our Twisted's going to activate. Then we'll get Sam Smith before any of these guys activate. So Roman could probably come in and finish getting this. And then next turn, because of the thing sliding, both Randy and Roman are going to act before this guy. So we could just get the heck out of there after we get it. That seems like a great plan. So let's do that. Roman's got 5 actions. So he's going to go 1, 2, and that does cost 1 oxygen. Okay, 3, he'll search. Come on. Okay, spend some sanity. He's got 4 to spend, so 1, bam! Okay, so he moved for 2. So now he's going to pick it up for his 3rd action. Oh no, he investigated for his 3rd action, so he's going to pick it up for his 4th action. There we go. And then for his 5th action, he'll go ahead and start moving away. Unfortunately, he can't. Wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. He can't get into the oxygen, so he's going to be down to 2 oxygen right now. But we still haven't had Randy actually pick up one of these, so she'll be able to get the last one, hopefully pretty easily. And he still has some sanity left in 2 of his little markers. So, let's see. I want Samuel to defeat this Ravenous, and he does have 1 armor right now. So I'll spend 1 sanity to get a marker on that guy. And then the Putrid, if we run away, is just going to move there, not going to be able to see us because of the water. But this one is more of a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and put the other marker on that guy. That leaves the Doctor with only 1 sanity left, but he will be able to rest pretty soon. Cool. So the Twisted activates. There's one over here. Not doing much yet. This one over here, also not doing too much. No hysteria. We go right to Samuel Smith. So let's see. He can bring Jared along with him and start working our way over here. Maybe we can defeat some of these guys. Seems like a good plan, because these guys are already going to get out of there. Although I don't want to forget that 8 is the next spawn. Oh, so that's really far away. We're in a pretty good place, I think. So let's have Samuel. He's only got 4 actions. And he's got the ore cutter now, which actually will like totally wipe out people if he manages to hit them. So I think that might be a better option. All right, so let's see. He's going to move 1, spending a sanity to bring his friend Jared along with him. It's one of his 4 actions. 2, he'll rest. So he has all the sanity available for rerolls again. 3, he'll use the ore cutter. So he's rolling 2 dice, hitting on a 5 or more, doing 4 damage. So if you can just get a 5, then this guy's totally dead. Boom! And don't forget this is a melee weapon, so if... I wish I did. If he had, and the Roman token goes back to Roman. If I had another enemy there, I could have split the extra damage up. He had no sanity on him at that point, so he gets... You immediately perform a free action. Yes, finally. I've been waiting for one of those. So he will move here for a free action. Now he is going to, if he ends his turn here, get a little immobilization token. He'll be slowed, so he won't be able to... He'll have to spend an action just to waste instead of moving next turn. Well, actually, I don't even have to do that. I've been forgetting about his other power. I can pull this guy toward me once per turn. So I get a free action right now. And I'm going to go ahead and attack the ore cutter with the ore cutter. And I still have 1 action left. This guy's got 1 resistance and 6 life. So if I get 2 hits, he's dead straight up. If I get only 1 hit, then he'll be half dead, and I can still hit him again next time. So, first try. Oh my gosh. Now, this is great. Because the Putrid has 2 horror, I get 2 cards, and he would have flipped 2 sanity if I'd had it. So, boom. Perform another free action. So, just keeping track, I still have 1 action left plus this one. And perform another free action. There they all are. So I get 2 free actions plus my regular action. So, hey, boom, boom, boom. And, oh my gosh, I've still got all my sanity, so I could bring Jared right along with me. Question is, do I want to? Not really, because this is where he needs to be to get over there and get us out, and he wants to be the fighting guy. So no, I'm just going to go by myself. But 1, 2, 3. So I'm right set up. Now, Samuel's not the best guy. He doesn't have that much sanity, but still, hopefully next turn I'll be able to get the last clue. Okay, we do our agony activation. This guy runs 1 that way. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I can choose which way he goes. He's in the water either way. But I think these guys are probably going to come out to breathe. So he'll go that way and stay in the water and not go block our way. These 2 agonies move 1 as well. Then we get to Ravenous. Oh no, but they were wiped out. How sad for them. So we have no Ravenous to activate. All right, so end of the 3rd turn. Feeling pretty good about things so far. Randy and Roman and Samuel and Jared are all going to move down. So Randy will be first this turn, and Jared's way late, but luckily there are no monsters around him yet. And there we go.